Merry Christmas everyone, I'm Dr. Naomi and today I would like to talk to you about some holiday treats that you probably have around your house but aren't necessarily treats for your pets. Now the first one you probably already know by now, but chocolate is not a treat for your pet, and that's because it contains a substance called theobromine, which is actually toxic to them. Now it does depend on what type of chocolate they've eaten, how much they've eaten, and also how much they weigh as to what kind of symptoms you can expect. Now the symptoms can range from mild stomach upsets right through to seizuring and sometimes even death. So it's really important, if you found that your pet has eaten some chocolate, to contact your local vet clinic and ask them for their advice. Now just to let you know that the different types of chocolate and how much theobromine they actually contain, our 90% cocoa chocolate, which is actually my personal favourite, actually contains quite a lot of theobromine. So it's really important to contact your clinic if you found that your pet has eaten some of that. Now, milk chocolate doesn't contain as much, but it does depend again on how much they've eaten. So it's always best to contact your clinic for advice. Now, the next thing we have here is grapes. Now, grapes can actually cause kidney failure. So it's really important that we don't feed them to our pets. Now, we're not exactly sure what substance it is that causes the kidney failure, and it can happen at any time. So even if your pet's eaten grapes before, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to cause them problems at any particular point. But it's always best just to not let them eat it at all. The same goes for sultanas and raisins, can cause kidney failure, so best not to let your pet eat them. Now, the next thing we have is avocado. Now, avocado itself is not actually a problem for dogs and cats necessarily. It can cause some stomach upsets, but with our dogs and cats, it's actually the seed. It's if that's ingested that it can cause stomach obstruction, which can lead to them having to have surgery. So best to leave that away from them. What the problem actually is with the avocado is for our rabbits, birds, even horses, because it causes respiratory distress and it can also cause problems with their heart. So if you have rabbits, if you've got a bird, if you've got horses, don't feed them avocado. Now next we have our Christmas puddings and our Christmas cake. Now they actually contain sultanas, raisins. So as I said before, with our grapes, it can actually lead to kidney failure. So it's best not to feed them. Also with our Christmas puddings and cakes, sometimes our mums and our grandmas put in some alcohol, which is not suitable for our pets in any instances. So make sure that they don't get any of those. Next thing we have here is macadamia nuts. Now, macadamia nuts can actually lead to lethargy, it can cause tremors, and it can also lead to hypothermia, which can cause problems with our pets' organs. So again, best not to feed any kind of macadamia nut, any kind of nut actually, because it's a high fat and oil content. So anything that actually has a high fat content, so things like our Christmas hams, pork, sausages, anything like that can actually lead to what's called pancreatitis, which is actually an inflammation of the pancreas, which can vary in its degree of severity, but can actually lead to death. So it's really important that we don't feed our pets high-fat meals because they just can't metabolize it like we can. So anything like our Christmas leftovers, so if we've got Christmas ham left over, don't give them to your pets. They're not treats. They can actually cause some quite serious harm to them. Now next we have here, now these are, if you can see here, we've got some Christmas lilies. Now lilies are actually quite harmful to cats. Now they can really cause some really serious problems. So if you've got cats, don't have lilies in the house, don't have them in the garden. Can lead to kidney failure, they can have seizures, it can actually lead to death in quite shorter period of time. So if you know of anyone that has pets, please don't give flowers, don't give lilies to them as a present. It is really serious. They don't need to ingest much. They can just brush up beside them and then it can cause really serious problems. The next plant we have which is actually our poinsettia, which we find is our Christmas flower. Now, these are actually obviously both fakes because I don't have either in the house, but again, with the poinsettia, they can actually cause some stomach upset, so it's best not to have them in the house if you've got dogs and cats. So that's just a few tips, a few Christmas treats that are best left for us and not our pets. If you really want to treat your pet this Christmas, there's plenty of recipes around for dog and cat treats, and you might just enjoy the baking. But that's it from me today, and I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.